Well, good morning, you guys. Welcome back to the Kneady Homesteader Channel. And a fun video today. We are going to do a centerpiece, at least for my folks here in the U.S. We are going to make a centerpiece for Thanksgiving. Now, you could make this for Christmas as well. But we are going to make the bread cornucopia. So, I haven't made it in quite a few years. I learned how to make this from Noreen's kitchen. I will leave her link down below in the description box. It is something fun, and it's a great centerpiece. I like to put my dinner rolls in it. It's a great way to serve and display your homemade dinner rolls. So we're just going to get started. I'm going to show you right off the bat what you need. Two simple tools. One, a pan from, and I'll show you here. These are from the Dollar General. These are just, they come in a 3-pack, and you can't ever go wrong with these, right? These are full-size steam table pans. So, I just took one out, and I gave it a good washing with some soap and water. Not that it's going to touch our cornucopia or anything, but anytime I'm putting, anything like this near food, I like to keep it clean. So I gave that a quick wash, and then you're going to need some heavy-duty aluminum foil. I got this. This is Meyer brand, and this will do. So the first thing that we need to do is make our cornucopia shape, I guess you will say. So let me grab a pair of scissors and we'll get started. The step that my camera neglected to record is cutting the corners of the pan, just so that we can lay it flat. That way we can make this into a cornucopia shape. There's no rhyme or reason, just cut the 4 corners and then kind of just try to flatten it out a little bit, okay? Then what we're gonna do is on one end, I'm just gonna move this over for a minute. On one end, we are gonna start rolling it like a cornucopia. So be careful when you do this, because you don't wanna cut yourself. Roll. Till you get a cornucopia shape. And then on the tail here, I like to aim it up. Have like a little curly tail. Now this is going to be covered by aluminum foil, okay? So you don't have to worry too much about it. You just want it a nice cornucopia corn kind of shape. And definitely you want it, now your bread is going to be bigger than this, okay? So because your dough is going to be on the outside of it. So don't worry if it seems a little small, it'll be fine once your dough's on there. Do a strip as long as my cutting board here. And then I'm going to take the cornucopia. Roll it in the foil. Okay, and then when you've got it, the way that you want it, it should look something like that. Okay, now we're going to stuff the inside with some balls of aluminum foil, just so that this doesn't collapse with the weight of our dough. Okay, so there it is on the inside. And you want to make it so that it just supports the weight of anything that's on top of that. And then there's my little crooked little tail in the back. And we are ready. Now, the only thing we need now is a cookie sheet to put this on. And this is my USA pan. You can put parchment underneath it if you want. But my USA pans are pretty non-stick, so I think it'll be a-okay here. All right, now we are gonna make our baguette recipe, and that's what we're gonna use to cover this. So let's go over to the mixer. I don't even have to go and look for the recipe since I have it on the cutting board now. How nice is that? I love that. So I'm gonna put that right over there so I can follow the recipe. All right, let me get some warm water and we'll get started. Look at my sourdough, you guys. After the holidays, look at that. After the holidays, we are gonna make some sourdough bread together. I'm so excited, can't wait. Cannot wait. All right, let me go get some warm water. Ready, so in here we are gonna add 2 cups of warm water and a tablespoon of our instant yeast. Okay, to this we're also going to be adding a tablespoon of sugar. Now after you add your yeast, your water, and your sugar, you always want to start layering on top. The first layer is always going to be your flour. If you throw salt in this right now, it will kill your yeast. Okay, so always add your salt kind of to the last and always on top of the flour, so then it won't kill your yeast before you can get to mixing it. Okay, just a little tidbit there for you. Okay, flour is 4 to 5 cups. So we're gonna do 4 to start. And I'm gonna level this off. We're gonna add 4 and then we'll reserve the 5th cup and add it as we need it once it starts mixing. I'm just using regular all-purpose flour. You don't have to use spread flour on this. 3 and 4. Okay, next is going to be your olive oil. Now, I have a dispenser that measures out 3 tablespoons of oil for me. Otherwise, just use your measuring spoon for 3 tablespoons. And that's extra virgin olive oil. Okay, now we're going to add 2 teaspoons of sea salt. Again, put it right on top of your flour. And that is it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and crank this up, give this a mix, and we'll add more flour to it if we need to. Okay, it's starting to come together, and I'm just adding tablespoon, a little bit at a time as I see it needs it. There we go. I think that is good. All right, I'm gonna let this knead, and I'll be in the meantime, while that is finishing up, I'm going to just lightly flour my work surface. This little ball has been so handy dandy. I have 2. I bought a 2-pack. One I use for powdered sugar, and the second one I use for flour, and it's fantastic. It's just really good for hand injuries. And this is my bum thumb that doesn't even work, so I'm able to use that. You just scoop up some flour, and then you close it. And I'll leave a link for it down below. I think it's in my bread baking thing on Amazon. But it just, you know, instead of just wasting a bunch of flour or having to try to like rub it around, but I tell you, what a lifesaver. I just love these things. Let me get my dough and let's get going. So, let me get my dough hook out of here. I'm just gonna go ahead and, there's the dough there. Go ahead and get my dough ball out. And there is the bowl. Doesn't have to be spotless, but that's what we consider clean. It's not sticky. So when I'm laying my hand on it, it's not sticking to me. And that's what you want, okay? All right, so let's get this rolled out. My mom's rolling pin. My mom didn't bake, but she had a rolling pin. And it hung in her kitchen. And, that's now the rolling pin that I use. It's my only one, and I love it. So I'm just gonna put some olive oil on there just so that nothing sticks. Let me get this out of the way. And we're gonna roll this out, okay? Okay, now that it's all rolled out, it's basically the size of my cutting board. You don't want to do it too thin, but you want it to do, you don't want to do it thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to now straighten up the dough, the ends. Was I a little crooked on that one? That's okay. You don't gotta be perfect. Just do it with a joyful heart. And then I've got some more dough here for backup. We're gonna make our strips. You can go longwise or you can go shortwise. I would rather go shortwise. And I'm gonna make them about 1 inch. So now with that, we're going to go over to the counter and we're going to start wrapping our cornucopia. Okay, I'm going to grab the first strip here and we are going to start at the tail. And all we're going to do is we're going to start at the end and we're just going to wrap this around. You want to overlap it a little bit so that there's no spaces. This is why it's a little easier to use and cut it the shorter length, because if they get too long they get really kind of hard to control a little bit. And then we'll just blend that like that. Another strip, and where we left off we will merge it like so. If you notice that you have some spaces, just use some of that extra dough and fill it in. Like I always say to myself, self, it's just family, it's just friends. They're not going to look at all the little imperfections. They're just going to see how beautiful this is. And if you have any missing spots anywhere, just go around and kind of fill it in. Like there's a little spot right there. Just take a little piece and fill it in. Now, we left the top part, the front part, empty because this is where we're gonna braid our dough and get a really pretty trim on there. So leave 3 strips behind and then you're gonna just blend them at the top. And then from there, you're just going to braid. Okay. And then, I'm going to put it right at the top, way down. Down, and then I'm going to cut it off there and blend it. Now I've seen some people add leaves, bread leaves, and all that kind of stuff to it. I mean, the sky's the limit, you guys, so let your creativity just fly. We're going to go ahead and get an egg wash on this. So, 1 beaten egg with a tablespoon of water. Okay, hold on. So, 1 egg beaten with a tablespoon of water, and we are going to put an egg wash on this. Okay, so once you have the whole body done, now I'm gonna do the braid. I'm not doing the bottom, because I know I will probably get asked that. I'm not doing the bottom. You won't ever see the bottom sitting on the table. And there we have it. All right, now let me wash my hands. All right, and that is it, you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my oven, 350 degrees, for 45 minutes to an hour. I'll keep checking on it. I don't want it to burn, but I definitely want to make sure that it's cooked. So in the oven it goes. Time to get it out of the oven. All right, let me stop the buzzing. Okay. So I'm just gonna wait till this cools off a little bit more so I can just pull this out. It's still really hot, but look at how beautiful. Look at how beautiful. Oh, I hope you guys make this. This is a fun project even to do with your kiddos. I hope you give this a try. If you do, let me know. If you do, take a picture and come post it over on my Facebook page. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. So, all right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was just something fun to do for the holidays. It's still pretty hot. I'm gonna put it back on the rack and let it cool, and then pull out the rest of that foil. But it is beautiful. Happy Thanksgiving, you guys. I don't know what I'm gonna film next, but I'll be back. I'll be back with something. All right, talk to you later. See you soon. God bless, and happy Thanksgiving.